This is part two.
Part two.
Part two.
What did we talk about? You have to tell them.
It was actually about confidence, creativity, and commitment.
So it's about commitment. And join us again for another unscripted conversation with Philip Isaacs and Josie Lacarte.
There's on the hour today.
Mm-hmm.
And you can check it out. Her Instagram is, I think, at Alicia SHAWPA. Check it out. She posted something, and it was very particular. It was about titles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you probably heard this a lot growing up in relationships is, do titles matter? I was reading her blog, and she coined the term situationship.
Yeah, it's a term that's been going around, I think. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you tell me your experience with that.
Situationships is a relationship that doesn't really have a title. You're kind of in this like maybe beginning phase or stretched out beginning phase. In like high school times, I was never really claimed like, oh, this is my girlfriend, oh, publicly, or you know what I mean? Like when you're out, oh, this is my, like I never really experienced that. Never.
Never. Not really. Once?
Like, no, it's still, you can still consider it like a situationship.
Really?
I've never been claimed.
So even,
oh my gosh!
So you're telling me even like the, in kindergarten, you say boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, there was none of that. I never had that. I never had a boyfriend till I was in grade 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he claim?
No. It took him.
So
You're not exposed.
So we're not going to expose. Please, yes.
Oh my god. I don't really. Okay, go ahead.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but it's like I like to talk about things that like, personal, things that are personal. Like, but talk to me about like the situationship. Because I do this is confusing for me as a man. This is confusing because that's not a man thing to do.
Yeah.
Men are very intentional.
Yes.
And we claim it. It's just what we do. So please tell me, like,
oh man,
what's going on with that? Apparently, this is a reoccurring thing.
It is. It is very reoccurring, and I've seen it continuously in like we call it, what do we call relationships now? Oh, it's a thing. Oh, we're talking. Like these are the terms that we use these days. We're not saying, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, or like whatever other term that you would use in a claimed relationship or whatever you want to call it. I feel like that has really scarred me internally, like as a woman and as a person. Remember when T.Wire was around?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this is when T.Wire was around.
T.Wire.
Oh gosh. So T.Wire. This was grade 9.
Yeah.
I was in grade 9, and I met a guy, and like eventually, I think we became. I think we were in a relationship, but when I went on his T.Wire profile, it still said he was single. So I was like, so what is this?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What do you mean?
Yeah.
And I remember in that relationship, it started becoming a thing of like, what can Josie do? Whenever I would see him, it would just be like it wouldn't really be about me. It was like, oh, what is Josie gonna do now? What is Josie gonna do for me now? You know what I mean?
So it was more selfish.
And that lasted 2 months.
So 2 months of a very selfish relationship.
And before that, 2 months too.
Because there are other people. Like the guys go through the same thing with women, and you gotta understand. It comes back to the whole parent thing. Really, if I was to put a label on that itself, I'd probably put it as no affirmation. There is no, there's nothing to affirm your position in the relationship.
It's true.
That's what the title does. The title affirms your position, your what you mean to that other person.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of people that are going to watch this, they're going to see this and then be like, that's me too.
Yeah.
There's things I've done. Anything from elementary school, I get a 99%, where's the other percent? It's the concept, and we wonder why we focus on the lack in our lives. We wonder why we put the focus on what we don't have, on what we didn't accomplish, on our failures and the mistakes, rather than what we have accomplished. It's because of our parents. It's because of that upbringing. It's because of the people that raised us, that had us and forcefully focused us to look at the lack, what we didn't. what we missed, instead of the congratulations. Now, some of us did get the good job, but where's the 1%? That but cancels everything.
Yeah.
That but is a cancellation of everything. So I get that. I really get that, because a lot of people are going through that right now. A lot of people have gone through that. I've gone through that personally. Where even you're just looking for that
like
the
reassurance.
like good job what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they're showing up.
So sometimes when you're faced with it, like when someone's actually now reassuring you, you're like, who are you? Like, why are you try to like almost distance yourself from people like that, because you're like, this is so foreign. Are you real? Like, is this real life?
Our reality when we grow up in that, the way we now perceive in our mindset of success or failure has been shaped by our upbringing.
Yeah.
And so whenever somebody comes in our life and starts to give us acknowledgement on our accomplishments, we feel like it's fake.
Yes.
So it is fake to us. We have to change our mindsets in order to receive that.
Yeah.
And it's like we want to, but then we can't even receive what we want because of how we've been brought up.
What do you do when you want to receive something, but like, how do you break down the barriers of that?
It's usually going back to, a lot of the times what I do with people is I'll use visualization. They can literally go back in time and console that younger version of themselves. Generally speaking, you have to step outside what makes you comfortable. You have to step outside your comfort zone of relationships and do things that scare you.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, if they're trying to get in a relationship and they don't want the past ones that they had, like you said, it was 2 months of a situationship, and then another 2 months of a situationship, right?
Yeah.
Is look for, if you're attracted to a certain type of person, don't go for them. Especially if you haven't identified your own behaviors and habits of picking people. Do not go for somebody you're attracted to. Go for somebody that you never pick. That's stepping outside your comfort zone, and you'll actually start to change the way you think, and you'll actually be able to receive that. So that's one way, but again, it sounds like a lot of the times people are getting into situationships is because
I can't believe this is a term.
It's
like,
a term.
It makes me
It's
laugh
gonna be
every
the
single
term
time.
now,
Oh my god.
You know, go again, check out her blog. But here's the thing she mentioned in the blog. She mentioned how there's women that are with a guy. Okay. There's no label on it. These women are cooking with the guy's mother. I'm like, time out, what? You're cooking with the guy's mother and there's no label? Stop. Like, you're being invited to nearly every family function, Thanksgiving, some of them even Christmas.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is where I now say to take the responsibility as women and sometimes as men.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you need to be the one to go up and be like, what the heck is this? And then from there, if they cannot answer you clearly, it's time for you to leave. You put a label on it as non-situationship, non-relationship, we're friends. And then you act as such. But here's the thing, a lot of people are really codependent where they need somebody else and are afraid of being alone. And because they're afraid of being alone, they will then lower their standard and accept the situationship for what it is and never get what they want. It's like the woman who's, unfortunately, many of them, a woman who's dating a married man. And she thinks he's gonna leave his wife and kids. It's not happening. What it boils down to at its root is unworthiness. Is I'm not worthy enough to have the things that I desire in life. We want the great relationships. Yeah. We do.
I mean, nobody wants to be like, okay, I want to be emotionally abused now.
No, nobody says that to themselves.
No.
Nobody says to themselves, I want to be in a relationship where there's no label.
No.
Nobody says that. But their value is then, I guess you can say, buried by their upbringing, by their mindsets. Yeah. And so somebody can be, that's why people are genuinely great people. They're better than their worst mistakes, but their mistakes comes from what I call their mindsets, their belief systems. Yeah. So it's, you value a relationship, but your belief system says you're not worthy for it.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we spoke about last night too, the failing and fear of failing. And when we don't, like that, this is my cycle that I go through in my mind sometimes. I don't start things because I feel like I'm gonna fail at it. Therefore, I don't actually ever do it.
And then that's a failure in itself.
And then, yeah, it's a failure in itself.
So you do confirmation bias is basically when you have a belief system about something or someone, and then you go and act in a certain way towards it to confirm what you already believe.
Yeah, exactly. But when I sit down and look at what I do, the stuff that I do is above average. And people are like, oh, Josie, you're doing such great things. But if you don't believe it within yourself, the only way that you can, like you were saying, do something that scares you. If you have a fear of failing and you don't start things and you don't actually complete anything, start something and complete it.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you don't complete it, change the narrative in your mind.
You started something.
You started something, but it became something else. We are evolving and changing every day. Sometimes we start something because we wanted to do something else, but we downplayed ourselves and said, "Oh, I'm gonna start this first because I'm not worthy of doing this."
You have to believe in yourself. That's something that I'm personally learning every single day is to have the belief in myself. And I have people coming to me and telling me that, listen, what you're doing is great. Your content is incredible. All these things. But because I have a belief system based on my experience as a child of being unworthy and unwanted, it's hard for me to hear that. So I have to, every day, I have to wake up, I have to do my own personal, mind program of changing how I think and view myself so that I can then see the incredible power and greatness that's within me that God's given me. And that's what excites me. But sometimes, guess what? I have to borrow other people's belief about me. Because
sometimes you do.
Yeah, sometimes in the moment I don't feel incredible. I don't feel confident. So sometimes when I have to go back to one time, I went back to one of my fiance's letters she wrote me. I wasn't feeling great, but I opened up a letter. She writes these incredible. I thought I was good at writing cards. It's truly law of attraction is happening because I attracted somebody who's equal, if not better, than me. And I would read those cards and I would like tear up in such gratitude that this is what she sees me. And then I'm just like, that's exactly who I am. And then my mood shifts, everything shifts. I'm confident I'm now creating incredible things. But sometimes you have to borrow somebody else's, and that's why it's great to have a coach, it's great to have people around you that build you up.
Thank you, the one. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Go ahead, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, share this video if you found it. If you found it inspirational, if you found it, really good, just subscribe. And then you can also head over to her channel, Josie's channel there. I'll put the link below. Subscribe there as well. But yeah, that's it for today. We will talk to you later.
That's all, folks. SignedJLA signing out.